Good morning. I'm Karen Terradas with Social U, and it's time for What's Up Wednesday, where we talk about social media tips, tricks, and trends. All month long, we are talking about mental health. It's Mental Health Month. Today, we're going to talk about FOMO, which is a real thing. I think it's discounted more than it should be, but basically, FOMO is fear of missing out. People get so wrapped around comparison on social media, it's incredibly detrimental to your mental health. So let's talk about how to recognize when you actually have FOMO and then how to deal with that. Okay, first and foremost, really, what is it? Okay, it's the fear of missing out, but it refers specifically to feeling or perceiving that others are having a better time, more fun, better lives, experiencing a richer experience, better things than you are. It involves a deep sense of envy and it has a very negative effect on your overall self esteem. Social media can and does make this worse. You can't spend your time wishing you were doing something else with someone else. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the 10 signs to recognize that you might actually have FOMO in case you haven't figured it out on your own and you need some help with that. And that's totally okay. If you're constantly checking your phone, frequently and compulsively checking your social media, even when you know there's likely not anything new or important, it can be a reflex. And I joke around about, oh, it makes my palms itch when I'm not holding my phone, but that's not far away from the truth, especially for a lot of people. Two, you get anxiety when you're disconnected. The thought of being without your phone or internet access sends you into a tailspin, even if it's just for a short period of time. You feel anxious or uneasy that you might be missing out on something that's really important. Number three, comparing and feeling inadequate. You often compare your life experiences, your photographs, your possessions to someone else's life that you see on social media. It leads to feelings of envy, dissatisfaction. And you're never comparing apples to apples. You are never seeing and there are multiple examples of this. Nobody, when they put their trip to Paris on Instagram, they're not showing you the 6 hour layover where they had an upset stomach and they had to run back and forth to the bathroom. You're not getting that part. You're getting the Eiffel Tower picture. So bear that in mind when you're looking online. I'm just saying that out there. Number four is saying yes to everything. You find it difficult to decline social invitations or online events, even when you're tired or you just genuinely don't feel like going because you have a fear of missing out on a potentially amazing experience. Over involvement, where you try to keep up with every trend, participate in every online conversation, you know about every piece of news, leading to feeling overwhelmed, and then it stretches you too thin. If you have negative feelings after browsing or scrolling online, if it makes you feel anxious or dissatisfied, even if you don't consciously realize that you've fallen into this comparison trap, it still has a negative effect, overall effect on your mental health. If you document everything, if you feel a strong urge to document and share your own experiences online immediately, and we all know creators who do this. Some of us might even be guilty of doing this, almost as if your experience isn't real or valuable until you tell somebody else about it. Honestly, they need to bring shame back. There are certain things I don't think you should tell people online. And that comes from a hardcore social media manager where, I mean, this is what we do. I'm online at least once a week because I have to for my job. But still, that being said, still, I don't feel compelled to share every thought in my head. It's a lot. And there are people who lose their jobs over that. There was a woman recently on TikTok who was working out at a gym and she made a statement about plus size people shouldn't be allowed in Pilates class. And they dragged her over the coals. And because of this, she lost her job. She got kicked out of her gym. There was a lot of negative backlash. If she had only kept that inner thought to herself, and I'm not saying the thought's right or wrong, but some things just shouldn't be shared out loud. Take a minute and think about, do you really need to share that? But I digress. Number 8, you have trouble being present. Even when you're engaging with real activities, with real people in real life, in real time, your mind wanders to what others might be doing online. Now, I am super guilty of checking notifications for work, but if I'm at dinner or if I'm hanging out with a friend, I'm not checking my phone. Um, I I want to be with the person I'm with, and that's a huge litmus test for me. If you can keep my attention, I want to spend more time with you for sure. And sleep disruption due to social media. If you stay up late to scroll um, because you fear you're going to miss something amazing overnight, seriously, that is the definition of FOMO. And of course, increased social media usage, despite having these negative feelings, is a great way to recognize that you have an issue, even though it makes you feel bad. You keep doing it. And there are, I mean, that's a great way to figure out if you have any kind of form of addiction. If you feel bad and you keep doing it, when you recognize these signs, that's the first step to recovery. So here, now that we kind of know how to recognize when it's happening, what it is, now here's 10 tips to help you deal with it and kind of get over it. First and foremost, ruthlessly curate your feed. Unfollow, block, mute, anything that triggers these feelings inside yourself. Get rid of it. You don't need to have it. I have a I have a birthday rule on Facebook. Any birthday notifications that come up for me, I will go check that profile. And if it's something I can't deal with, or that person posts a lot of negative or political, or it's too much for me, I'll unfollow them. I'll unfriend them. Anytime I get a notification, if it's something that's overwhelming to me and I can't deal with it, I'll block it. I am ruthless about blocking, especially if we get weird comments. I'm done. I'm out. Set specific time limits. Use your phone's built-in screen time features or third-party app. We use Toggle, love Toggle. It's free to set daily limits for social media usage. You want to stick to these limits to prevent that endless scrolling. And I mean, I do sometimes give myself time to just mindlessly scroll. If I'm having some downtime on the weekend, I'll allow myself to do that. Now, I can't do it all day because that's not healthy, but I do think it's okay to be on there just for fun sometimes. Turn off your notifications, disable your push notifications. I have, unless it's for work, so Meta's the business suites for Meta that notifies me for Facebook and Instagram for work. The end. That's it. That's what I have turned on. I don't, I mean, Twitter, but like even my YouTube notifications, they're turned off. If it's important and it's about my work, I'll get that notification in my email and I'll deal with it then. I don't need to see it on my phone constantly. Um, it puts you more in control of when and how you engage than being at the mercy of the red number on your phone, where you're constantly interrupted and pulled back into the digital world, which is overwhelming. You need to prioritize your real life connections, foster those relationships, make a conscious effort to spend more time with the people that you enjoy. Nurture your real world relationships so they can provide a deeper and more meaningful connection. Do you spend time with real people on the regular? Hopefully you do. Um, Practice gratitude, regularly reflect on and appreciate the positive aspects of your own life. And again, keep in mind, people don't share their worst moments, generally speaking, although you do have people who overshare. Wow, boy, do they overshare. But most people, they focus on the good parts, not the real parts. Bear that in mind. Engage mindfully with purpose instead of aimlessly scrolling. Open your app for a specific intention, like I need to find a recipe for chicken that has these ingredients, or I want to see the pictures from graduation from last weekend where you went to your friend's graduation. That makes total sense to me. Or you want to find out what's going on with a specific friend. Passive consumption can be very dangerous. Specific, the more specific you are, the healthier it's going to be. Take regular digital detox sessions where you regularly schedule short breaks from social media, whether it's hours, days, whatever it is. I know myself, and if I get on TikTok for fun, I'm going to stay on TikTok. I know I am. So I have to schedule that time so that I don't get distracted and just mindlessly scroll. I also have other hobbies. I have people I hang out with. I can also be present in the moment. So schedule your time, your downtime. Challenge comparisons. Remind yourself that social media is the highlight reel. I can't say that enough. It's photoshopped. It's made to look better than it really is in real life. I'm very transparent. What you see is what you get. That is very much not the case for a lot of content creators where they curate their very best moments. So what you see is rarely an accurate representation of someone else's reality. You just have to remember that. It's like ads in magazines. The people in the ads have been photoshopped to the beyond recognition. There are so many celebrities who have sued different magazines for photoshopping their flaws out. I mean, one of the best ad campaigns I've ever seen was Jamie Lee Curtis without any enhancements. It's eye-opening and awesome. I mean, truly. Create no phone zones or no social media times where you designate certain areas like the dinner table. I'm big on not doing it at dinner. X amount of time before bed where you're completely tech free. This helps create mental space and it reduces your urge to check. And then you have to focus on yourself, your own goals, your progress, where you shift your energy away from observing others, their perceived success, and focus more on working on your own. One thing I am good about, especially for work, I'm really good about, I don't compare myself to other social media managers. You can't. You're in different aspects of your career. You're on different trajectories. You have different clients. It's different. So celebrate those small victories and focus on your personal growth journey. Implementing these tips can really reduce and the impact that FOMO has on you, where you gain more control over your social media habits for a much healthier relationship with technology. That is it for me this week. I will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, I am Karen Taradis, and I'm here to help. Thanks.